we got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. And I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. But I love to see the league growing. I think, adding these teams in Philly and Detroit, like that's how amazing is that the league can grow. But how cool would it also be to have like a little bit expansion on the rosters? Like, let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now, and maybe focus on the teams also that find excuses continuously to lack investment into their players.
WNBA players reject first CBA offer. 3 months ago, Kat Engelbert claimed to be optimistic about ongoing negotiations. I guess all that optimism has suddenly disappeared. Now, to be fair, this is not unusual. It's not unusual to see players reject the first offer they receive. But like I've told you guys before, this is going to be a tough negotiation for Kat Engelbert.
Is the WNBA poised to ruin itself? The players rejected a new contract. Caitlyn Clark is struggling to keep up with the league's rapid expansion. Here's a breakdown of why the 2026 season may be canceled and who is to blame.
Engelbert, I'm sure she thought that everyone was going to be thrilled with the expansion of the WNBA. I'm sure she thought the cities of Cleveland, Philadelphia, Detroit would be throwing parades welcoming unknown dump divers to their city. I'm sure she thought WNBA players would be doing something that they have never done before, not complaining. I'm sure the dump diva thought, the players have been demanding more money, so I've got the perfect solution. We'll open 3 new dumps, which will give players the opportunity to play more games. That way, they'll almost be above the poverty line. This idea is great!
First, let's discuss what caused the chaos. The WNBA submitted a proposal to the Players' Union for the next collective bargaining agreement. Sounds natural, right? Phoenix Mercury star Sato Sabali did not hold back. She described it as a slap in the face. Now let's get genuine. This isn't simply frustration. That is fire. This leaves players feeling offended and disregarded. This proposal follows the league's announcement of expansion franchises in Philadelphia, Detroit, and the Bay Area. The WNBA was celebrating. Players, not so much. Sabali's words were not solely about money. Players expressed a desire for more roster spaces, improved facilities, and significant investment in their current teams. She is not wrong. Many franchises still operate on 10-day contracts, hardship deals, and congested benches. We are now introducing 3 additional teams. So the question is this: is the league developing too quickly without prioritizing its foundation? Is it possible that gamers are resisting what is ultimately beneficial to them? Do you want to know how dangerous the situation is? Consider what occurred to Major League Baseball in 1994. The season was going well. Fans were thrilled. The teams were competitive. Then bam, a labor strike. The postseason was canceled. No World Series. Just silence. Fans were angry. The steroid-fueled home run chase between McGuire and Sosa slowed baseball's recovery for years. Consider how this would impact the WNBA. But here's the issue. Baseball has a century of heritage, generations of fans, and emotional attachment. The WNBA is not yet there. It's still in its early stages of growth. Caitlyn Clark is the driving force behind most of this success. If the WNBA goes on strike, there is no guarantee that the audience or networks would return, and there is no historical heritage to rely on. The league cannot afford a miscalculation of this magnitude. The stakes are so enormous. What happens if both sides dig in? Although this may be a controversial opinion, it is accurate. The WNBA is not expanding due to the league. Caitlyn Clark is the driving force behind its growth. Her games are filled. Her jerseys sell out. She is the reason ESPN wants to invest more. That is not disrespect. That is reality. But here's what makes it fragile. All of this can vanish in an instant. If Clark has an injury, leaves for Europe, or becomes dissatisfied with her lack of protection, her momentum can quickly fade. It's like constructing a skyscraper on a single steel beam. At first glance, it appears strong, but eventually weakens. Although the players may believe they have leverage, it is primarily held by one woman. It's risky because if Clark walks, the entire deck of cards falls down. Is this a fair number? Is this true? Absolutely. Here's the thing. The players are not simply complaining for fun. They attend media days and read statements. Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Carlson have gone public. We have a legitimate claim to a fair portion of the business we established. The league is growing. Attendance is increasing. Ratings are up. A new media deal is on the way. So, why not get a paycheck? But here's the opposite side. The Women's National Basketball Association remains unprofitable. Over its nearly 30-year history, it has never made a profit. Where do players get their million-dollar wages and cutting-edge facilities? It is a difficult reality. Are the players undervalued? Definitely. Are they the reason behind the league's value? Yes. If the business cannot support the demands, are they realistic? Remember, 80% of players will be free agents next year. That is a lot of leverage. Leverage only works if the foundation can support the weight. What did the WNBA offer? The league reportedly offered top wages ranging from $500,000 to $750,000, a significant increase from the previous $250,000 cap. This is treble the current highest deal. However, players say they want more. Some aim for base salaries of $1 million or more. Some demand superstar pay of $2 million or more. But here's the deal. Last year, the league earned little over $60 million in revenue. This is less than a single mid-tier NBA team's merchandise earnings. You do the math. If everyone makes $1 million, the league will quickly become insolvent. Are the WNBA players pursuing fairness or risking the league's future? Caitlyn Clark had another memorable moment this week. According to her, winning the Commissioner Cup, a mid-season tournament, is more lucrative for players than winning the WNBA title. Let that sink in. If you win the entire league, you'll receive $11,356. If you win the Side Cup tournament, you will receive a $30,000 prize. This is equivalent to receiving a higher payout for winning a raffle than an Olympic gold medal. Clark is not only playing basketball but also speaking out against the system. And she's correct. To gain players' attention, prioritize the league's main reward. If that is broken, what else is? 3 new teams. The expansion includes 3 extra cities, 45 additional players, coaches, staff, stadiums, travel expenses, and charter flights for everybody. That seems like progress, right? However, some clubs continue to struggle with practice gyms and dressing rooms. We still have players staying in subpar accommodations. Some teams struggle to provide adequate playing time for good players due to limited rosters. In just 4 years, the WNBA expanded its season by 12 games. It aims to attend 50 to 60 games. Are players prepared for that? Is there infrastructure? This is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Excessive speed might cause knee injuries before reaching the finish line. Remember this crucial point. WNBA players do not rely on the league to sustain themselves. That is not an exaggeration. That is a fact. Many athletes earn more money overseas than at home. Players in nations like as Turkey, Russia, Italy, and China enjoy higher compensation and additional benefits. We offer first-class airfare, full-season housing, high-end practice facilities, and security escorts in select cities. Overseas teams treat these women like royalty. Now, add another layer to the drama. Unrivaled. A brand new league. Player-backed, media-savvy, and designed to disrupt the system. It provides shorter seasons, higher income, less politics, and greater creative freedom. Netflix's approach is similar to bypassing Hollywood studios for famous actors. Come straight to us, and we'll pay you top dollar. So here is the reality. If the new CBA fails, leaving the WNBA is a real possibility. It's a viable strategic alternative. This is already happening on a limited basis. Players are testing other leagues. They are conversing. They're watching. Let's be honest. Not all WNBA players are worth $1 million. That is exactly the truth. Caitlyn Clark is worth $10 million. Easy. Sabrina Ionescu. A Wilson, perhaps a few more. Sure. However, most players in the league are not well known. Arenas are not being sold out. They aren't attracting millions of viewers. So, what constitutes fairness? Max compensation ranges from $600,000 to $750,000. Sounds solid. Rookie contracts range from $150,000 to $200,000. Reasonable. Bonuses for playoffs, MVPs, and all WNBA clubs. This is how you motivate performance. It's unrealistic for players to expect to become millionaires overnight. For the time being, the league must expand before rewarding everyone, as it is a financial decision. Otherwise, it's a wrap. The clock is ticking. The WNBA needs a new collective bargaining agreement. Players demand real money. The league seeks expansion. The supporters simply want the games to continue. However, there is a hazard. If neither side compromises, the 2026 season may be canceled. That is not drama. That is reality. If that happens, Caitlyn Clark's progress from this year will be lost. Without games, there is no opportunity for growth or development. We've seen this before. The WNBA lacks the tradition and fan base of MLB, making it vulnerable to decline. This may be the most significant negotiation in league history. So, what are your thoughts? Do the players have the right to strive for more? Are they poised to slay the golden goose? Please let us know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and remember that the WNBA's future is uncertain.